How did an empire that spanned 3 continents from the Mediterranean to the edge of India not only dominate through conquest, but also thrive through diplomacy and cultural unity? At its height, the Persian Empire wasn't just the largest in the world, it was also the most innovative, embracing diverse cultures and religions with a level of tolerance and respect that was exceptional for its time. Under visionary leaders like Cyrus the Great and Darius the Great, Persia built a superpower unlike any other, managing to unite vastly different peoples and lands under one rule. But what was their secret? And how did this empire not only survive, but also influence civilizations long after its fall? In this video, we're going to unravel the mysteries behind the Persian Empire's dominance, examining their military strategies, groundbreaking governance, and cultural achievements that shaped the course of history. Discover how Persia became a beacon of power and progress in a world often dominated by fear and tyranny. The origins of the Persian Empire lie in what might seem to be humble beginnings. Semi-nomadic tribes were scattered across the rugged landscapes of the Iranian plateau. Living off the land and raising sheep and goats, the harsh environment that they inhabited would later become the cradle of one of the most powerful empires in history. From these modest roots emerged a visionary leader, Cyrus the Great. His ambition went far beyond the unification of local tribes. He sought something much larger. And so, it began his conquests, swiftly bringing together fractured regions and laying the foundation for what would become the Achaemenid Empire. Cyrus's genius wasn't just in his military prowess or conquests, it was how he governed the territories he acquired. Instead of crushing local leaders or imposing Persian customs on his subjects, he allowed them to maintain their traditions and beliefs, often incorporating the best aspects of each culture into the growing empire. This diplomatic approach laid the groundwork for an empire that would eventually stretch from the Balkans in the west to the Indus Valley in the east, and even down into Egypt's Nile Valley. At its peak, Cyrus's empire was the largest the world had ever seen, a vast and diverse superpower that controlled key trade routes connecting different parts of the ancient world, giving Persia immense influence over the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. But what set Cyrus apart from other rulers wasn't just the size of the empire, but it was how he treated the people he conquered. Unlike many rulers of his time, Cyrus believed in diplomacy and cultural tolerance. Instead of ruling through fear and force, he embraced diversity and fostered peaceful coexistence. One of the most famous examples of this leadership was his decision to free the Jewish captives in Babylon after conquering the city in 539 BC. Rather than keeping them in bondage, he allowed them to return to their homeland in Jerusalem, even funding their journey and helping them rebuild their temple. This act of generosity solidified his legacy as a ruler who respected different cultures and traditions, making him a revered figure even today. Cyrus's forward-thinking approach to governance is best captured in the Cyrus Cylinder, a clay artifact often referred to as the first charter of human rights. However, it's important to note that modern interpretations of the cylinder as a human rights charter are debated among historians. Although the concept of human rights as we understand them today didn't really exist in the ancient world, Cyrus's principles, overthrowing tyrannical rulers, respecting local customs, and promoting fairness, were groundbreaking for their time. The United Nations even recognizes the cylinder as an early document advocating tolerance and respect for conquered peoples, further cementing Cyrus's place in history as a very progressive leader. After Cyrus, another towering figure emerged to build on his legacy, Darius the Great. While Cyrus had laid the foundation for the empire, Darius expanded it and made it more efficient than ever. Darius wasn't just a conqueror, he was a brilliant administrator who understood that to manage such a vast and diverse empire, strong governance was essential. One of his greatest achievements was the introduction of a common currency, the daric, which made trade easier across different regions. While he allowed local currencies to remain in circulation, the daric helped stabilize the economy and fostered commerce throughout the empire. Standardization weights and measurements further facilitated trade, ensuring that merchants and traders across the empire could conduct business smoothly and reliably. Now, Darius also invested heavily in infrastructure, building roads and transportation networks to unify the empire. His most famous project was the Royal Road, a massive highway stretching over 1,500 miles, which allowed goods, armies, and information to swiftly move across the empire. This road system, combined with the introduction of standardized currency and measurements, transformed Persia into a commercial powerhouse, with economic stability and flourishing trade connecting its far-flung regions. Another critical decision by Darius was to make Aramaic the official language of the empire. Aramaic was widely spoken across the Near East, and adopting it as the empire's administrative language helped bridge the many cultures within Persia's borders. This choice allowed for smoother governance and communication, making it easier to manage the sprawling empire and maintain unity. Life in the Persian Empire was remarkably progressive compared to many other ancient civilizations. While slavery did exist, it wasn't the foundation of Persian society, which relied more on local customs and systems of labor. The dominant religion, Zoroastrianism, shaped moral and ethical decisions, with its emphasis on the eternal struggle between good and evil. This belief system influenced how the empire was governed, promoting justice and fairness across its vast territories. Zoroastrianism's influence extended to governance decisions, as it promoted a sense of order, justice, and the dualistic concept of good versus evil that shaped leadership and policies. Women in Persian society enjoyed significantly more freedom compared to their counterparts in the Greek world, though their experiences did vary based on region and class. While Greek women were often confined to their homes with very little legal power, Persian women could own property, manage estates, and even hold high-ranking positions. This level of independence was remarkable for the time and reflected the empire's progressive approach to governance and social structure, particularly for noble women. Culturally, the Persian Empire was a melting pot of influences from Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and India. This fusion was reflected in its art, architecture, and craftsmanship, with Persepolis standing as the symbol of cultural richness. The city's grand palaces and intricate carvings showcased the empire's wealth and the diversity of nations under Persian rule. Persian metalwork, particularly in gold and silver, demonstrated the empire's craftsmanship, with delicate jewelry and grand vessels symbolizing its artistic achievements. The empire's cultural and architectural innovations, such as the use of columns and beautifully designed spaces, had a lasting influence on other civilizations like the Greeks and Romans. The Persians' ability to blend functionality with aesthetic beauty became a hallmark of their architectural style, leaving a legacy that inspired future empires. However, no empire lasts forever, and the Persian Empire began to decline under Xerxes I. The failed invasion of Greece in 480 BCE, though remembered for the famous Battle of Thermopylae, was part of a larger campaign that became a military and just financial disaster for Persia. Major defeats at the naval battle of Salamis and the subsequent Battle of Plataea forced the Persians to retreat, marking the beginning of the empire's decline. Xerxes' heavy taxation to fund further wars, along with growing internal unrest, strained the empire's stability. Although Persia persisted for another century, it was severely weakened by costly conflicts and internal strife. By the time Alexander the Great arrived, the Persian Empire was a shadow of its former self, ultimately falling to Macedonia in 330 BCE. Even after its fall, the influence of the Persian Empire still endured. Its governance techniques, cultural achievements, and contributions to art, architecture, and science left a lasting mark on the civilizations that followed. Persian culture shaped the Islamic Golden Age, influencing language, literature, and governance across the Middle East. Persian architectural styles, such as the use of courtyards and intricate designs, continued to inspire future generations. The legacy of Persia's contributions to medicine, astronomy, and engineering endures, with Iranian scholars advancing these fields long after the empire's decline. The Persian Empire was not just a story of conquest and power, but rather a civilization that shaped the course of history. Its commitment to tolerance, innovation, and cultural fusion left an indelible mark on the world, influencing everything from governance to art for centuries to come. So what are your thoughts on this? What part of the Persian Empire story fascinates you the most? Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts, and let us know in the comments below.